Now, whereas sweating is the body's mechanism of cooling down, there are instances where heavy sweating is not related to heat or exercise. Such heavy sweating, medically identified as hyperhidrosis, can easily subject the victim to anxiety and stigma. As our reporter Ian Muse takes a look at the various types of hyperhidrosis and how patients can actually cope with it in this particular piece.
Dr. Hashim Kadebai, a certified dermatologist, says there are various types of heavy sweating.
When you look at hyperhidrosis, there is two variants, which is the primary or I would say, an idiopathic type, which is basically an inbuilt type. So someone is born with it, they have some genetic factors. And then we have a secondary one, which is acquired, which is most of the times secondary to a condition that someone already is having. Hence, they are now caused to have extreme sweating. Primary has triggers which are mostly stress related. So anxiety, nervousness. For example, you're going for a meeting, for example, and you know that you're meeting someone very important. Automatically, you know, your hands start feeling a bit cold and clammy normally. But for hyperhidrosis patients, they get overly excessive. So you'll notice that the hands are just dripping with sweat. Sometimes it's not just the feet as well. So it's the hands, the feet, sometimes even the face also occurs. So when you have primary focal, it can be different types, like the way you've mentioned. So most of the common types is palmar, which is on the hands. But you can also have it on the hands, on the feet, and on the face as well. Then we have the generalized one, which is mostly all the times we see it with secondary hyperhidrosis, where you have a secondary internal problem. Most of the times it's diabetes, we have a thyroid problem that usually causes, and then infections.
Martin Kimamo was born with primary focal hyperhidrosis and started treatment in 2018.
I remember my mom will tell me she noticed when I was young, as an infant, when she was even breastfeeding me, she noticed my palms would be filled with sweat puddles. So mine started from early childhood. And then when now I joined, I was enrolled in school from nursery school. For me, I'm old school. Sisi watu wa kindergarten. So from nursery school, now the difference is even clear. I mean, my sweat issue, I'm the only person with this issue. I can't seem to find someone else with sweat issues.
Due to limited knowledge on hyperhidrosis, patients can be subjected to undue public ridicule.
I take it as an initiative to raise awareness. Before I shake someone's hand, I always tell them, I have this condition. So you might feel uncomfortable or disgusted, and most people are actually okay. And they get to learn a thing or two.
Despite no known cure, there are different ways of managing the condition.
We usually start with topical antiperspirants. Something very easily available are over-the-counter antiperspirants. They're cheap, available, and maintainable. So it's an application which you do twice a day, and it really helps reduce the amount of perspiration you're doing. After that, we have medical-grade antiperspirants, so things which are prescribed. We do get them in Kenya, and Hyperhidrosis Association of Kenya actually brings them in for patients of ours. Then after that, we have oral medication. Now, oral medications is something which I tell patients that it is something temporary. It's not a treatment option, it's a management option. So let's say, for example, you know that this is something that's going to bother me during this particular time of the year, for example, a conference, some really important time of your life, for example, a marriage.
So my first treatment was in 2017. When I consulted Dr. Wawil. And what I did, I reached out to him and I even asked him, do you provide treatment for hyperhidrosis? And he told me yes. And that was like a sigh of relief.
Over-the-counter medication is discouraged as some drugs may come with side effects such as dementia.
So a lot of times, the oral medications, which are glycopyrrolate or oxybutynin, is given as a prescription by pharmacists who have no idea about some of the side effects. Many patients actually start taking them and seeing that it's working because, remember, it's going to reduce the sweat glands. They think that now that's the treatment. They continue that for a very long time. They forget that any any medication, even paracetamol, has side effects. So oxybutynin and glycopyrrolate, they are known to reduce the nervous stimulation. So what are they additionally going to do to other parts of the body, especially the heart? They cause definitely changes in the way the rhythm of the heartbeat. So we have a lot of cardiac arrhythmias that can form, changes in the heart rhythm.
Martin now runs a campaign to enhance public awareness on hyperhidrosis.
My main motivation behind HAK, well, number one, I have this condition. I was born with hyperhidrosis. So when I champion for sweat issues, it's from a personal perspective. So the outcome I want for myself, I want the best outcome for the people I serve. So if I'm looking for the best treatments, I want the same for them.
With approximately 40% penetration and no permanent cure for hyperhidrosis, this poses a challenge to experts, doctors, as well as patients to dig more for a permanent solution. Reporting for KBC Channel 1, I'm Ian Muse.